Hello, welcome to Mind Your Business. I bring you greetings from beautiful Mexico, Mexico City. I spent the night here. I'm on my way to Iztapa for something I will tell you about shortly. Today on Mind Your Business, I have entitled it, What Track is Playing in Your Mind? And this started as a reflection for me. Someone I met while on the way here asked me a question based on a book that I'm reading, or she saw me reading, and it got me reflecting. And I thought this morning that before I leave for the airport, let me record this episode and share these reflections based on a series of wonderful, miraculous testimonies that I experienced while here. So I hope you enjoy it. Get your cuppa or water. This is actually water. And enjoy this episode of Mind Your Business with me.
Fab Hab Ashanti, a haven nestled at the tip of Kumasi, where fresh air meets serenity. Fab Hab Ashanti is a residential learning and event space perfect for your corporate training, staff retreat, group hangouts, and wedding receptions. With 4 rooms and 15 beds, you and your group can sleep comfortably. What makes us special? Fab Hab Ashanti is not just a space, it's a commitment. By choosing us, you support community projects empowering women and youth. Join us at Fab Hab Ashanti off Aful Junction, Abuabukesi, Kumasi. Fab Hab Ashanti, here we grow.
Hi, I am Alma Duncan, founder of the Fabulous Woman Network. Before 2015, I was that broke girl who was stuck in her own limiting belief of not enoughness. Marianne Williamson's words, "You are a child of God," woke me up. And then I sought help to work on myself. I still invest heavily in my personal development, and so much has changed for me in the most incredible ways. My burning desire is to see an Africa in which women are empowered to thrive and impact people. I am a trainer, coach, author, social entrepreneur, and an event organizer who is passionate about helping others on their own personal development journey so that together we can all thrive as fabulous children of God. Mind Your Business is our weekly podcast which is free on YouTube. Here we share enriching content to help us all thrive as fabulous children of God. And if you prefer to work with me one-on-one, please go to my website amaduncan.com/store to book a discovery call with me. Welcome back. So while I was on a flight from Nairobi to Amsterdam, I met this lovely lady. She was she was sitting by me. We didn't talk, but I thought she had a nice smile, and the networking guru in me didn't kick in yet. I just thought, I had such a day, which I'll tell you about. So I just thought, let me relax. But she saw me journaling. I brought along my book for journaling, and then my devotional, this book. This is what got our conversation started when she asked me about this book. And this is not a book review, but I will recommend that if you can get it. Okay, so what did she ask? She saw me, I had put it on the tray table, whatever it's called, and I was just journaling and all, and she said, 100 days of favor, huh? And then we started talking, and when she said that, I just thought, oh my goodness. I just, without even thinking, I responded. And, reading this book has changed the game for me. Like, it's really put me in a different zone. I kept going on and about the book and the content, and that's how the conversation really started. Now, when I got this book, I actually got it off Amazon, and how it is in Ghana. So I asked a friend, someone coming from the US brought it for me. I bought it and then sent it to them or something like that. And then when I got it and told another friend about it, she also got it. I remember a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week, she sent me a message. We were talking and she said, "Oh, Amma, I got the book." And some things are happening in my life, and I think it's because of the book, you know. So we had already had that conversation before about the book and how things were happening. And then this lady also asked me, and without even thinking, I just started going on and on about the book and the different things that were happening. Now, let me tell you just a bit of the different things or miraculous things that were happening, right? I don't know. I just pray that I do justice to this story. It's a lot, but I'm going to summarize it. Okay, so the first is this. I mentioned that I am here in Mexico. I'm in the city, Mexico City, but I'm actually on my way to Iztapa, which is about an hour and a half away from here, and it's for the OC conference, Opportunity Collaboration Conference. If you followed me for a while, you know that in 2022, I was a fellow. I attended it in the Dominican Republic. It was a beautiful experience. So many beautiful things happened to me through that experience, right? So when I got another invitation to attend this year to participate, I thought, yeah, I said yes. And, you know, started sort of thinking about how I was going to do it, because it's quite complex if you live in my part of the world and have to get all these visas and all. So, well, I started planning for it. Then I got this other work that required me to go to Dubai at the same time that this conference was happening. And, you know, the conference, of course, is a nice networking opportunity and everything. But the second one was work. And, you know, like I had to think through, and I had already said yes to the OC. I was thinking, so what do I do? So I started praying for guidance, right? Then my mentor, who is also the one who got me in the OC community in the first place, got me an upgrade for the OC conference. So I wasn't just going to participate, but I was also coming to facilitate. And now there was no confusion. The fact that I got to facilitate while networking was an extra for me, right? So I really wanted to come for the OC. And so I started preparations. I went and got my Mexican visa, and then getting the Schengen visa. If you are in Ghana or in a country where it takes you a while to get these visas, then you understand. Even getting the date for the appointment is one thing, and then getting in there, and then it takes weeks. Originally, I thought it was going to take 2 weeks to get my passport back. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, my passport wasn't coming, and the trip was so close. The weekend before I did park, I sort of had faith. I had told God, now I really want to go for the OC. And, you know, immediately after the OC, I had another training, you know, I had another work in Nairobi. So I just told God that I want to go. So I started parking, and I parked for both events. OC, which is, you know, a summer, you know, so I got all my summer stuff together, beach stuff together, and then I passed for Nairobi, which requires, you know, cool clothes, warm clothes, because the weather is cooler there and everything. Parked them, but didn't put them in the suitcase. In faith, I started putting things together and all that, but still the passport wasn't coming. 3 days to go, 2 days to go, it wasn't coming. And then I just wrote to some people and said, hey, you know, some people in the community, this is what's happening. I need to go to Mexico. I have the visa, but the Schengen visa has taken a while, and at this point I don't know if there's any miracle, there's anyone you can call or anything. A lot of people that I had reached out to said, oh, unfortunately, I can't support. You know how it is with visas, and I understand, right? So I just left it to God. I was like, God, I desire to go to the OC, but if it's not in your will, and if you really want me to go to Dubai instead, or even not go anywhere and just go straight to Nairobi or whatever, I'm okay with it. I prayed, thanked him, and then a day to the day I was supposed to leave Ghana, still the passport hadn't come. And you know, the interesting thing is, I would call the embassy. They would, you know, they will give you another number. Call this. You call the agency that's, you know, we apply through VSF Global and all that. You call and they will still tell you, oh no, it's not ready. Wait, and it's like you really don't know who to call. So even if I went to Accra, where was I going to pick the passport from? Where? So I just stayed in Kumasi. So the afternoon before I was supposed to leave, I had sort of made up my mind that, okay, God, it's not happening, and I accept it. It's okay. It's okay that I will disappoint a few people. It's okay that I myself may feel disappointed. But you know, Dubai is also good. I mean, Dubai is like my favorite country or city ever, right? So yes, I started recycling my mind and everything. I was running an errand and then I get this call from the embassy, and this really nice lady is asking, okay, where are you? I'm like, I'm in Kumasi, and she starts teasing me. You're in Kumasi, you're supposed to be traveling and you're in Kumasi. I thought by now you'll be at our door, you know, trying to chase your passport and everything. And you know, I was just laughing. She was just so nice and warm, and she said, okay, come pick up your passport. The next morning, that is miracle number one, that the embassy called me directly and said, come pick up your passport the next morning. Okay, so at this time I hadn't bought my ticket, but ticket prices were skyrocketing. I just kept praying, God, just give me a miracle, give me a miracle. So that night I bought my ticket to come to move from Kumasi to Accra. Thank God I got the first flight. And then I found a ticket that will get me to Nairobi in time for a flight to Mexico City. Long story to explain why I had to go through Nairobi and all is long, but just take it as I and then of course it was also more affordable. I think that's the easiest way to understand. It was way more affordable, what my pockets at that time could handle. So I had found the ticket, but I didn't buy it. For some reason, I couldn't buy or something. So I just made a reservation and thought, okay, as soon as I pick up my passport, I'll quickly run to the airport, buy the ticket and get on that flight. It was a 12:30 flight, right? Oh my goodness. I got to the embassy, say 9 o'clock or something. I sat there and sat there and sat there. And interestingly, something in me just kept calm. It was like, just relax. Everything that is meant to happen will happen, and everything will work out for your good. You know this, but in the experience, in the moment of it, it's something else. And I just had to trust. I remember there's this sticker, post-it that I've written on my notes at the office, on my desk at the office. I've written, I am chill. What mind comes to me in due time with ease. This is one of my favorite affirmations, but in practice sometimes it's not the easiest, right? So I'm sitting there waiting and waiting. At about 11 or so, I finally get my passport. At this time, so there was a 12:30 flight. But there was an earlier flight that I wanted. I think it was 11 a.m. And at this time, I knew I had already missed the 11 a.m. flight. That was going to be ideal. That would have made sure I got here, everything, So I was like, okay, so the 11 is not coming off. Like, I just gave up. But I got to the airport. I was trying to find the KLM office because I also needed a ticket from... It's complicated. I needed a ticket from Nairobi to Mexico. So even the first ticket I was talking about was from Ghana to Nairobi. So my plan was, okay, quickly buy the KLM ticket and then buy the Ethiopian Airlines ticket so that you can be sorted. I got to the KLM Air France ticket office, they were closed. So I was on my way to Ethiopia. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go in faith. I had gone for the money the day before, as much money as I could. Like, I swept my dollar account, basically took everything I could get. And so as I was on my way to the Ethiopian Airlines ticket office, I just kept saying to myself, all things are working together for my good. Even if the ticket I want I don't get that one and I get on the next flight, it's fine. I'll be fine. Wherever I get to, I'll be fine. I'll be taken care of. God, God is with me and everything. And as I approached the office, I noticed that there was a queue. I was like, God, when will it get to my turn for me to buy the next ticket? Because I had already missed the 11 a.m. flight, I thought. So the next one, the last one, was going to be the 12:30. I didn't have a ticket. If I did, I would have just walked straight to the counter. I needed to buy the ticket first. Then just before, if you know Kotoka International Airport, just before the Ethiopian Airlines, there are a couple of other airlines, and there was Askai Air. And I remembered that the ticket I wanted, the original ticket I wanted, the 11 a.m. flight, was by Askai. So I thought, let me just ask them directly. So I approached the counter and I asked the woman, can you give me a miracle? I need to be on the 11 a.m. flight. I know the counter had closed like 30 minutes ago, so it was not realistic. But I asked anyway. And the woman said, oh, okay, let me call someone and see. I mean, at first, of course, she shook her head and was like, okay, let me call someone. She tried and tried. She wasn't getting through. Then out of the blue, this other lady comes and then papa starts doing everything. Long story short, I got the ticket, got onto the flight. You know, just before I got there, I was just running and there were people meeting me along the way. Okay, hurry, do this, go here, do, you know, helping me to cross. And then I got to the last point where before you board, and they were even announcing, I'm a Duncan and this other person, you are delaying the flight. I thought, okay, I'm not the only one, thank God. I'm here. Okay, I get on the flight, whew, and then we start the journey. As Sky passes through Lomé, we paused for a while and then went to Nairobi. Now, then other KLM ticket that I wanted to come to Mexico City with flew from there at, I believe, 11:59 p.m. And then our flight, I knew would get there at 9:30. So it would be a miracle. But my thought was, okay, as soon as I got out, I would quickly run, get KLM, buy the ticket, and then get on the flight. I didn't have a ticket. I was just going, and, you know, I had all these plans. Oh, it is going to be well. I was just going. The kind of faith I was even exhibiting. Yeah, me, who be that? I haven't seen some before in myself. But I went anyway. I got to Kenya, you know, got my stuff and everything. I was going through immigration there. I got stalled. Our flight was actually on time, but I got stalled there for 30 or more minutes because there were some things I needed to do and all that. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, I just kept saying, okay, it is well. Everything is working together for my good. I'll get on the perfect flight that is for me. Even if I miss this flight, I'll get the next one, blah, blah, blah. I was just affirming. And then finally, I got my bags. I asked, please, where is departure? How do I get? Hey, I had to carry my luggage through the cold. For the first time, I actually packed light, but it was still heavy. I carried my luggage through the cold, I got there. And you know, in some of these countries, you don't just enter. You have to go through some different security things before you get to the counter. My goodness, I got to KLM counter 1 minute to close, and I didn't have a ticket. If I had a ticket, it would have been simple. I just got there and said, please, can I get on your 11:59 flight? He said, do you have a ticket? No. Oh, you know, the counter closes in 1 minute. I just stood there. I was praying in my head, Holy Spirit, God, just give me a miracle. And then this lady started, and then they were helping me. Oh, they needed to use my card. I said, for some reason, I'm not able to use my card, but I have cash. They don't accept cash. Hey! But by God, when they themselves tried the card and for some reason it wasn't working, they accepted my cash. And that's how I got on this second flight. And that timing was perfect. The ticket price was perfect with the kind of money I was holding at that time. And you know, the miracles just go on and on that very day. It was like I was in a zone that miracles were happening. Things that ordinarily I wouldn't even ask for, because actually there's been times that I missed my flight because I was late. I would get there and the counter closed 3 minutes ago and they wouldn't allow me. So this one was just so different, and I was being favored, and I was like, oh my God. And I got on the flight. I began tearing up because I couldn't believe how things were just happening. And so I was already in this zone of reflection. And then back to the point that this lady asked me about this book and I was raving about it, I realized that there is something about this book that was helping me remain in a zone. I was in a zone that, I don't know whether to call it a zone of faith or a zone of possibilities. And I don't think it is about the book itself. And I mean, just to say, I know that people, like I do, I pray over my products and services and ask God that it will be a blessing to them. So I'm sure Joseph Prince prayed over his book and asked that whoever uses it, it will favor them. Thank God for that. Beyond that, I also think that I was in a certain state of mind, and this is what I want to talk about. The state of mind was in a state of possibility that I can do it. I've got what it takes. I'm helped everywhere I am. I had all these affirmations playing through my head over and over again in this particular season. And what has made that? It is because of the things I am consuming every morning. In fact, multiple times throughout the day, I'm listening to Joel Osteen. If you know him, you've listened to him, you know that his preaching is just, it's a sort of preaching that makes you want to just get up and go and do something, have faith. I've been doing my affirmations. I do my affirmations here. I do my morning pages, my journaling here. I'm always putting myself in this zone. And then recently I started using this book as my devotional. I think I'm on page day 19 or something, 100 Days of Favor. So all these things, along with the things I'm listening to, the communities I'm in, it is putting my mind in a certain zone that is not able to accept negative. Like, it's just not possible. A negative thought comes, it's countered with positive. Oh, you missed that thing. No. I never miss what mine comes to me in due time with ease. It's like I always have something to fire back in my mind. It's a zone. It is beautiful. And I think that being in this zone has helped, because you know what? I realized something. God's grace is always available. Nothing you and I can do will reduce, diminish God's grace or take it away. No, it's always there. It's a constant. We have to do the work of tapping into it. And some of this work includes remaining in that zone when you are aware, in the zone where you are aware of this consistent grace and consistently tapping into it, asking for help, doing all the different things that will lead you into where you're supposed to go. And for me, that has been the game changer. So this is the thought process that I had been going through, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna share this on Mind Your Business, just to help another person. Probably you are listening to me, you're having your own series of things happening, and you need help or something. It first starts from here, having faith that it's even possible, and remaining in a zone that allows you to keep doing things that will make sure that what it is you will get. I think this is important. As fabulous children of God, we need to stay in that zone of faith. I don't know if there's a name for it, it's anointing or something, I don't know. But we need to remain in the zone because God's grace is already available. But we need to do the work of making sure that at every point in time, the track that is playing on our minds is one of positivity, one that is telling us, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I am loved, I am helped, I am favored everywhere I am. Positively saying this to yourself. This track record, because this is something you say to yourself. It's not even something from outside. It is you. It is going on in here. And as you keep doing this, I know that what's yours will come to you. And this will also help you stay in faith, in anticipation of the goodness of God that is already yours and is coming to you. And it will help make your life more enjoyable, easier, even though you are waiting. And sometimes when you're waiting, you can never tell, is it happening, is it not happening, like I was a few months ago and all that. But you know what? Just stay in that zone. Consume things that help you. I'm not saying go and consume this book or Joel Osteen. There are a lot of other content that you can consume to help you stay in that zone. Just consume. You know what you do for you to help you stay in that zone. So just do it. And I wish you the very, very, very best. So this has been today's episode of Mind Your Business. And before I sign off, I just want to say thank you to the people who use the services of the Fabulous Woman Network and FabHab Ashanti. I want to say thank you to the Leading Ladies Network, to the party crew for choosing FabHab Ashanti for your activities and your short stays in Kumasi and all that. The beautiful thing is, whenever you pay for any of our services at FabHab Ashanti or the Fabulous Woman Network, with, you directly finance our activities with regards to training and mentoring youth and women in underserved communities through the Fab Youth Camp program we have and Fab Skills training that we do as well. So thank you for choosing us, and if you're considering choosing us, please do call or WhatsApp us +233 244 339970. Until I see you again with the next episode of Mind Your Business, it's ta toodles. Bye.
Mind Your Business is one of our free resources available on YouTube. And if you prefer to work with me one-on-one as your coach, as a consultant, or as a trainer, it starts with a discovery call. Head to amaduncan.com/store to book a discovery call with me.